What if I told you that there's a 2,000-year-old technique that can make you emotionally bulletproof in just 30 seconds? Today, I'm revealing the exact method that Epictetus used to go from slave to one of the most respected philosophers in history. This isn't about suppressing emotions, it's about mastering them. And by the end of this video, you'll have a tool so powerful that criticism, rejection, and setbacks will never control you again. Before we unlock this ancient secret, hit subscribe and that notification bell. Why? Because emotional resilience isn't just a nice-to-have skill. It's the foundation of everything else. Your relationships, your career, your happiness, they all depend on your ability to stay centered when life gets chaotic. And if you missed episode 1 of our Be Stoic Everyday series, go watch it after this one. Let's dive in. Welcome back to Daily Stoic Insights. I'm your host, and this is episode 2 of Be Stoic Everyday, where ancient wisdom meets modern life. Last week, we talked about transforming your mornings. This week, we're going deeper. We're talking about the skill that separates the truly successful from everyone else: emotional resilience. Now, let me paint a picture. You're having a great day, everything's going according to plan, and then bam, your boss criticizes your work in front of everyone. Or your partner says something that cuts deep. Or you get rejected from something you really wanted. What happens next? For most people, the day is ruined. Their mood crashes, their confidence plummets, and they spend hours or even days recovering. But what if I told you that Epictetus, a man who was literally enslaved, beaten, and had his leg broken by his master, developed a technique that made him emotionally unshakable? What if this same technique could work for you, starting today? Here's what I'm going to give you today. First, the exact 30-second technique that Epictetus used. Second, 3 real-world scenarios where I'll show you exactly how to apply it. And third, a simple daily practice that will build your emotional resilience like a muscle. Plus, I've got a special challenge for you at the end that will test everything you learned today. So stay with me. Let's start with the foundation. Epictetus taught something revolutionary. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. But here's where most people get this wrong. They think this means you should just think positive, or don't let it bother you. That's not Stoicism. That's denial. Real emotional resilience comes from understanding what Epictetus called the dichotomy of control. And I'm going to teach you the exact technique he used, which I call the 30-second reset. The 30-second reset technique. When something triggers you, and I mean the moment you feel that emotional spike, you have 30 seconds to change everything. Here's the exact process. Seconds 1 to 10. The pause stop, whatever you're doing. Don't react, don't respond, don't even think about what you're going to say. Just pause. Take one deep breath. This isn't meditation. This is creating space between stimulus and response. Seconds 11 to 20. The question, ask yourself, is this within my control or outside my control? Not partially in your control, not something you can influence. Completely in your control or completely outside your control. This question is like a sword that cuts through emotional chaos. Seconds 21 to 30. The choice, if it's outside your control, you have one job. Accept it and focus on your response. If it's within your control, you have one job. Take action. No drama, no emotional spiral, just clarity and action. That's it. 30 seconds. But here's why it works. You're training your brain to respond instead of react. You're building what neuroscientists call cognitive flexibility, the ability to shift your thinking when circumstances change. Real-world application number 1, the criticism scenario. Let's say your boss criticizes your presentation in front of the team. You might spiral. I'm terrible at this. Everyone thinks I'm incompetent. I should just quit. New uses the 30-second reset. Pause. Don't defend, don't argue, just breathe. Question. Is my boss's opinion within my control? No. Is how I respond within my control? Yes. Choice. I'll listen for any valid feedback, thank them, and improve my next presentation. Result. Instead of being devastated, you're gathering intelligence and getting better. Real-world application number 2, the rejection scenario. You apply for your dream job and get rejected. Old you. I'm not good enough. I'll never get what I want. Why do I even try? New you. Pause. Feel the disappointment. Don't fight it, but don't feed it. Question. Is their decision within my control? No. Is what I do next within my control? Yes. Choice. I'll ask for feedback, improve my skills, and apply to even better opportunities. Result. Rejection becomes redirection, not devastation. Real-world application number 3. The relationship conflict. Your partner says something hurtful during an argument. Old you might say something even worse, escalating the conflict. New you. Pause. Don't retaliate, don't defend, just create space. Question. Is what they said within my control? No. Is how I respond within my control? Yes. Choice. I'll address the issue when we're both calm, focusing on solutions, not blame. Result. Conflicts become conversations, not wars. Now I know what you're thinking. This sounds simple, but how do I actually remember to do this when I'm triggered? Great question. I'm about to share the daily practice that makes this automatic, plus a real story of how this technique saved someone's career. And yes, that challenge I mentioned, it's coming up, and it's going to test everything you've learned. Here's the truth. Knowing the technique isn't enough. You need to build the habit. And the best way to build this habit isn't during a crisis. It's during calm moments. The daily resilience practice. Every evening, for just 5 minutes, do this exercise. Recall the day. Think of 3 moments from today when you felt triggered, frustrated, or upset. Even small things count. Apply the reset. For each moment, mentally walk through the 30-second reset. What was within your control? What was outside your control? How could you have responded differently? Visualize tomorrow. Think of 3 potential challenges you might face tomorrow. Mentally rehearse using the 30-second reset for each one. Why does this work? You're training your brain during low-stress moments so it can perform during high-stress moments. It's like a fire drill for your emotions. The neuroscience behind it. When you practice this daily, you're literally rewiring your brain. You're strengthening the prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for rational thinking, and weakening the amygdala's control over your responses. After just 2 weeks of consistent practice, you'll notice you're naturally more calm and centered. Real success story. Let me tell you about Sarah, one of my subscribers. She was a project manager who was constantly stressed, always reacting to every crisis, every criticism, every setback. She started using the 30-second reset and the daily practice. 3 months later, she got promoted. Why? Because her boss noticed she had become the calm center in every storm. While everyone else was panicking, she was problem-solving. Before I give you that challenge I promised, let me share the one mistake that will sabotage all of this. It's a mistake that even experienced Stoics make, and it's probably the reason you've struggled with emotional control in the past. Plus, I'm going to give you a simple phrase that you can use in any situation to instantly activate your resilience. The biggest mistake people make with emotional resilience is thinking they should never feel negative emotions. That's not Stoicism, that's suppression, and it doesn't work. Stoics feel emotions fully. The difference is they don't let emotions make their decisions. When Epictetus felt anger, he acknowledged it. I notice I'm feeling angry. When Marcus Aurelius felt frustrated, he wrote about it in his journal. The goal isn't to become emotionless, it's to become emotionally intelligent. Here's your magic phrase for any difficult situation. This is outside my control, but my response is within my control. Say this out loud when you're triggered. It's like a reset button for your brain. Advanced technique, the premeditation of evils. Once you've mastered the 30-second reset, try this advanced practice. Every morning, spend 2 minutes imagining things going wrong today. Your flight gets delayed. Your presentation bombs. Someone criticizes you unfairly. Then mentally practice your Stoic response to each scenario. This isn't pessimism, it's preparation. When you've already mentally rehearsed handling difficulties, they can't catch you off guard. Here's what happens when you master emotional resilience. You become the person others turn to in a crisis. You make better decisions because you're thinking clearly, not emotionally. Your relationships improve because you're responding with wisdom, not reacting with impulse. But most importantly, you become free. Free from the tyranny of other people's opinions. Free from the chaos of circumstances you can't control. Free to focus your energy on what actually matters. Epictetus went from slave to sage because he understood this truth. External circumstances have no power over your inner state unless you give them that power. And starting today, you never have to give that power away again. Now for your challenge. For the next 7 days, I want you to practice the 30-second reset every single time you feel triggered. No matter how small the trigger. Someone cuts you off in traffic? Reset. Your coffee order is wrong? Reset. Your phone battery dies? Reset. Keep a simple tally on your phone. How many times did you remember to use the technique? How many times did you forget? Don't judge yourself, just track it. Awareness is the first step to mastery. At the end of 7 days, come back and comment below with your results. How many resets did you do? What was your biggest challenge? What surprised you most? If this technique could change your relationship with stress forever, smash that like button. Not just for the algorithm, but as your commitment to emotional mastery. You're saying, I refuse to let external circumstances control my inner peace. Comment below with I accept the 7-day reset challenge and tell me what situation you're most excited to handle differently. When you make a public commitment, you're 65% more likely to follow through. Share this video with someone who needs to hear this. We all know people who are slaves to their emotions, who let every little thing ruin their day. Be the friend who introduces them to freedom. Subscribe and hit that notification bell because next week we're covering the power of negative thinking, how Stoics use pessimism to build unshakable optimism. It's going to blow your mind. Remember, you are not your emotions. You are the observer of your emotions. You are the one who chooses how to respond. That choice is your superpower, and it's always available to you. Until next time, stay stoic, stay resilient, and keep growing.